Dude here's got 2 guns. And I'm not sure he's happy to see me. Arr! Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we're continuing our look at Legacy Evolution by taking a look here at Needlenose. And Needlenose here was a Generation 1 character. Here's his original toy. Needlenose was a character that was a double Targetmaster. What that basically meant was that he came with 2 Targetmaster partners. Sunbeam is the black gun, and Zigzag is the purple gun. These dual Targetmasters were figures released back in 1988. As to be a second wave of Targetmaster figures. The gimmick about them was that not only were they smaller than the regular Targetmasters that had been available, but they also, since they had a second figure, if you were to fold up the barrel of the gun to restore it to normal, or at least to be a Nebulon figure, and then plug it in facing the opposite way to the other gun, it would act as sort of a boosted power pack to the gun, giving it enhanced extra abilities. So that basically the added effects of whatever the gun's damage did would be amplified by having the other figure being a power pack instead of a separate gun. They were an interesting oddball collection. There were only 6 of them available, 3 for each faction. The Autobots had construction vehicles, and the Decepticons got military vehicles. As a character, Needlenose was sort of described as a Decepticon version of Jazz. Basically being a hip and happening character. The More Than Meets the Eye guidebooks further expand upon it by stating that Needlenose was basically a celebrity of sorts on Cybertron. Of course, the book doesn't really go into the details of what exactly he was famous for, so he's kind of basically like a lot of these hipsters and socialite celebrities that are out there in the world. They're famous, but nobody really knows why. Or we really don't want to know why in some of their cases. Needlenose would apparently go out of his way to go on extravagant adventures or pull some other sort of weird stunts just to get himself in the news and be made relevant. While the Autobots were still somewhat in power on Cybertron, they decided that their media coverage should be more about the various atrocities that were going on Cybertron instead of Needlenose's antics to gain attention. So, basically out of pure spite, Needlenose joined the Decepticons. Simply because they would allow him to do whatever he liked to gain the attention he'd felt he deserved. So, not really all that great of a character, so to speak. Now, we're going to take a look here at Needlenose's accessories. We'll start here with Sunbeam. You can see there is a little guy painted on the bottom. You would just basically fold the double barrels backward. It's done as one piece, so don't have to worry about that. Then unfortunately, these little guys don't move at all, so they just sort of stand there. But one thing to be aware of in the packaging, they are packaged in there without the gun barrels attached. So make sure, again, when you go through the packaging, that tissue paper, make sure you get it totally emptied, because you could be throwing away some of the valuable pieces. These guys cost enough money without having to go out and re-spend it to buy a new one because you accidentally threw away the pieces. Alright, next up is his other gun. This is Zigzag. And of course, you just fold the barrel up, and there he is as a Nebulon figure. Of course, he has his own gun, too, so he's ready to get into battle either way. I state that hunting for the pieces out of experience, because I nearly threw this piece out. Luckily, I went back and got it. So it's kind of Hasbro, if you're going to do this kind of an idea, continuously make guys like this, please don't do this. Separating the barrels of the guns is just a pain in the butt. And it's more trouble than it's worth, especially if you're not going to take the time to list on the instructions all the loose pieces. And then lastly, for Needlenose, he has the tail fin. Guess it was just easier to package him in the box without this attached. But it also serves as a slight homage to the original toy, because on the original toy this piece could be removed. But it was done up so it was hinged, so it would fold over to the side instead of being intended to be removed. But since it needs to be in there to transform him, we'll just put it back. And now we'll take a look at Needlenose's articulation. And he has about what you would expect for a modern Transformer toy. His head can be turned from side to side. And if we can get it back into the center again, it is on a ball joint, so it will look up and down a bit. His arms do reach out to the side about so far. And as we can fold his wings to the back, his arm can rotate all the way around without being affected by the wings. He has double jointed elbows, as you can see there, so he's got great range of motion with the arms. And he also has a swivel at the bicep, so he has G.I. Joe battle grip. He can not really be twisted at his hips, so despite his badness, he doesn't have any dance moves. You can spread his legs apart into a full splits. He does have a good thigh cut. You can raise his leg at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend him at the knee greater than 90 degrees. He also has ankles that can be shifted outwards. So all in all, Needlenose does have some decent articulation, a little better and a little worse than others. Okay, to transform Needlenose, the first thing we got to do is we turn his arms at the bicep so that the thumbs of his fists would be pointing outwards. And then we will bend his arms up at the elbow, because they have a post that will attach to his shoulders. Just exactly like that. Then we're going to come here, and his chest should open up like so, so that we can fold his head inside. Once his head is folded in, you'll raise this portion up. Because then we're going to fold his arms in at the shoulder. The shoulder pieces will actually fold in like that. And then, of course, once we've done that, then we can fold in his chest to recover it, hold everything in place. Then now we're going to take his legs, we're going to turn them at the thigh so his toes point to each other. And of course, once we've done that, then we will fold them up at the side. There's an opening at the back of his legs, so that should wrap around his arms. And it should just pop into place. Of course, kind of go slow so you can adjust getting the leg in on the arms. And there we go. Now, of course, once you've done that, then you'll fold his ankles. Something's not right here. The legs aren't folding right. Excuse me. And that was the problem. We didn't have them totally straight in there, so that is something to be aware of. And then, of course, they want you to raise part of the airplane body up, because it will, once you get it popped free, it does fold back. So it'll help hold everything in place. And then we basically fold the wings down and secure the front nose. And there you have it. He's done up to resemble the XL version of the F-16, or at least the original one was. This one, not so much. And of course, you do have the option that underneath the wings there are a couple of holes that you can plug the guns into. Just pop them in there like that and you're in business. Set him down there like that so that then we can do a quick comparison with his Generation 1 version. Now, of course, the instructions also show another way to fit the guns onto Needlenose when he's in this mode. First thing we got to do is get the guns removed. And it shows you basically take them and attach them like this to each other so that the weapons are combined. And then we'll take the toy. You'll lift the body up a bit here at the back. Spread the feet out into their original position. And then you're going to plug the gun, plug the black gun. There's a little hole here that's tabbed in, and that should connect with some difficulty into this post under the boost to connect actually into the holes behind the rocket engine. Takes a little effort to get it in there, but there we go. And then he has a rear defense cannon, or an overdrive unit, I'm guessing. Either way, looks rather weird. Now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of it? Well, this is an improvement over the original figure, since all it could do for posability was aim its guns. It is nice to see that some of these guys are being brought back, even though Needlenose was brought back in Combiner Wars. so he hasn't been off the market very long. But still, it is a nice rendition of the character, and as you can see, it does relatively match up with the Generation 1 toy. So all in all, it's not too bad of a figure, and a rather good one to have in the collection. Just make sure you search that packaging real good for all the pieces. And I think we'll go, when we're done, we're going to put the guns back under the wings where they at least look somewhat useful. At any rate, that's my review of the Legacy Evolution version of Needlenose. I hope you all enjoyed it. And please do remember that if you like the content we feature on this channel, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.